Well, welcome back. I've got the mower pulled right down now, and in this video I complete the upgrade in the rear end for the limited slip diff, and I do the final paintwork on the exterior body. So the rear gearbox is out of a Audi A2, or same ones are in a VW, and as I mentioned last video, can't really drift too well in this because the wheels are so big. So this upgrade here will fix that problem. So I've actually bought a Quaife LSD, and just pulling this apart, that's the open centre there that I'm just about to pull out, and I've got to take the main gear off of that and bearings and swap it over to the Quaife unit. So unfortunately they rivet these bolts, which is a bit of a pain, but they're not that hard to drill out, so I'm just drilling them out here, and then they're a press fit in. So once I drilled them all out, just get a decent pin punch, chisel the heads off first, and then just punch them out. And then what I did is I bought a new set of bolts, ARP, really nice bolts, and fitted the main gear to the new Quaife unit. So not a very big job, very doable, but yeah, not cheap. And you can see this unit, it's a really great unit, so I'm expecting to have a lot of fun when I get this finally back together. There's the ARP bolts, and that's the Quaife unit there. Really nice unit. And just doing these bolts up, like any ARP bolts like this, you've really got to make sure there's grease on them so you get the right torque settings. And here I'm just pulling the bolts through as a starting point before I torque them up properly. So just putting in the case center, you've actually got to make sure that you have the right preload on these bearings. So I've done all of that, but you can see it's quite a tight fit in there. There's not much clearance, but I guess it doesn't have to be. The job went pretty well, no complaints, and that's done. The other thing I've done is started the final paintwork on the exterior of the body, which you'll see in a moment. That's come up really good. So what I did is applied the base coat in a red, tried to stick to the original colour of the mower, and I put on about 3 coats, and my plan is I'm going to give it a really light sand. I'm getting some custom decals made, which you'll see in another video, and then I'll clear over that. So I probably don't need clear, because you'll see here that it comes up pretty nice straight off the gun. And as I've mentioned in my other videos, this is just acrylic lacquer. It's not 2-pack, and you can see if you prepare the panels properly, you can get a really nice finish just using acrylic. So I'm really happy with this. This is the front section. As I said, this is probably second coat. I put about 3 coats on it, and come up awesome. Once I've done the front bit, I basically did the same on the rear, which you'll see, and you can see the finish there. It's pretty much a glass like finish straight off of the gun. So come up awesome. Just need a light buff eventually once that all dries properly. It's a fair bit of work. That front bit is all metal. If you see in my earlier videos, that's basically just from a flat sheet, and then I've just bent it all up to make it into that custom sort of front, and you can see there, nice gloss on that paint. I like that colour. It's very close to the original colour, so it's going to look pretty amazing, I think, when this is all back together. So this is the front, the rear part of the body. You know, that was a stack of work. If you look again at previous videos on how much welding and messing about I went through to get this right. So this paint is PPG, applies really well, really nice coverage, and as you can see here, same sort of thing. I put about 3 coats on. Finish up the gun is really great. So I'm just using it at the same gun actually, and the same type of paint I painted my Celica with so many years ago. So it's just an Iwata gun, W77. Works really nice. I think the tip in it is 1.4 mil, and I used about 275 kPa pressure. And you know, you can see here, I hear a lot of people say that acrylic paint you can't get the finish, but it's certainly not the case. So anyway, the next video will be starting to put it back together, and it's almost done, so stay tuned.